The Supreme Court recently set aside a petition filed by MP Manoj Tiwari praying for the urgent hearing of the case against the complete blanket firecracker ban imposed by the Delhi government. Now, it should be noted that the Supreme Court has only dismissed this petition for urgent appeal, and the case is still pending. The case has not been dismissed. So that's that. But this Supreme Court judgment has again uh, sparked what I would like to call the annual firecracker debate of Diwali, which happens, as I said, annually every year in India. And in the past, people such as Chetan Bhagat and Sadhguru have spoken against firecracker bans, and their arguments are broadly on the lines of tradition and on the lines of hypocrisy on why ban firecrackers when we pollute the environment every day in several other ways. Today in this video, I would like to put down both the force and against both the force and against arguments of the ban on firecrackers. Put them down lucidly and try to come up with a midway. My name is Ishan Fosdar, and you are watching the Upfront. The arguments against firecracker bans primarily come from the conservatives and the right wing of basically the right. It would be wrong to call them the right wing, but from the conservatives of the country, people who are conservative about tradition. And there are a few arguments, and I would try to list them as lucidly as possible. First, burning firecrackers is an integral part of Diwali, and Diwali is a important Hindu festival. Henceforth, in line with the right to freedom of religion as enshrined in our constitution, banning firecrackers is not only anti-Hindu but also anti-unconstitutional. Now, this argument will be sound if it is proved that the burning of firecrackers is an integral part of Hinduism. However, I am no expert of scriptures, and scriptures can be interpreted in many different ways, so I will not go there. The religion argument I will not tackle. However, when it comes to the constitution, I would like to state here that the right to freedom of religion is not sacrosanct. Article 25(1) says that the right to freedom of religion is subject to morality, public health, and other provisions of this part, that is the other fundamental rights, which in basic language says that the right to freedom of religion can be restricted if it contravenes other fundamental rights. Therefore, for example, if let's say that the act of burning firecrackers puts the lives of asthmatic patients and the pregnant women at risk, then it will go against Article 21, that is the right to life of our constitution, and then it may be held as an abhorrent practice. So even if it is integral Hindu practice, it can be held abhorrent if it contravenes other fundamental rights. The second argument, the second argument is divided into two parts, but it works on a very simple basic principle of whataboutery. Let me explain whataboutery. Let's say that you are taken to a court because you defaulted on a bank. In the court, you go to a court and you make the argument that yes, maybe I defaulted, but what about Vijay Mallya and what about Nirav Modi? They are also big time defaulters. What are you doing about them? When you make this what about argument, then it is called whataboutery, and it is a kind of arguing style. Now the second and in this line of argument, we have the second two parts of the second argument. Number A, maybe firecrackers cause pollution, but what about fuel burning? What about stubble burning? What about meat eating? These also cause pollution. What about them? A. Second part of the argument, B. Why selectively ban firecrackers during Diwali? What about burning firecrackers during New Year, during Christmas, other festivals? What about them? Why are they not banned there? And why selectively target this tradition of firecracker burning? What about the sacrifice of animals, what about the tradition of animal sacrifice during Bakrid done by Muslims? That is also anti environment. What about that? These are the what about arguments made by the people who are against bans on firecrackers. The foremost argument for banning firecrackers is environmental pollution, and all the other arguments revolve around this major one. For example, Supreme Court has time again said that banning firecrackers is not to target any religion but to protect the right to life under Article 21. Now, the nature of this argument may be legal, but it comes down to the fact that firecrackers contribute to shooting up the levels of PM 2.5 and PM 10 pollutants, which makes the air difficult to breathe, makes it more polluted, makes it more vulnerable uh, for allergic patients, and hence it comes down to the right to life. Therefore, we come to the pollution argument. Now, Forbes came out with a report on the harmful effects of firecracker burning on the environment, independent of occasion and place. So this is not targeting India, and this is not targeting Diwali. This is occasion independent and place independent. To understand the harmful effects of firecrackers, we need to know a little chemistry. And if I try to simplify it to a lot of extent, we would understand that the colors that we see in the firecrackers come from different metals. And when a firecracker bursts, first of all, it gives out a lot of gases such as carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, which are greenhouse gases. They heat up the environment and they make the air difficult to breathe. Secondly, the metals in these firecrackers do not completely burn up. They turn into tiny particles called aerosols and are carried by the air. Now, these metallic aerosols are harmful to everyone, more harmful to asthmatic patients who are allergic, and pregnant women. And in general, no one wants to breathe in zinc and copper. In addition, the firecrackers also release gases such as nitric oxide and sulfur dioxide, which contribute to acid rain. And if you inhale these gases, then it will cause irritation in the lungs, which can be very harmful for asthmatic patients, and especially after the COVID scenario. And let us understand that the pandemic is not yet over. COVID is still very much there, and let us understand that this is not just for India. Forbes has put out that the same happens in London when there are firecrackers burst there. So this is not targeting any country or any religion. Furthermore, when we come to the argument that what will one day of firecrackers do, what will one day of firecracking do, the Forbes report also says that, and I quote, a case study found that within 1 hour of firecracker display, strontium levels in the air increased 120 times, magnesium 22 times, barium 12 times, potassium 11 times, and copper 6 times than the normal level. So a lot of damage is done in just 1 hour, let alone a single day, and what it does to the atmosphere. Right, all of those arguments are in order, but can we really make a difference by banning one day of firecrackers when we pollute the environment in numerous ways every other day? Well, please understand, and let us understand that in polluting environment in any way is wrong, and equally wrong is polluting environment through the way of firecrackers. Both are equally wrong, and two wrongs can never make a right. Just because we pollute the environment every day, do we also pollute the environment on a single day when we have the chance of not doing it consciously? Because we are doing bad things every day, should that become an excuse for doing worse things, or even bad things on equal magnitude? No, right? Burning firecrackers, we are polluting environment every day, there's no doubt about it. And I'm also agreeing that firecrackers are not the only source of pollution. There are other sources such as stubble burning, etc. But that should not become an excuse for bursting firecrackers. We should mend the other ways. We are working on replacing fuel based cars. There's Tesla. We just got a car that runs completely on sunlight. We are working on solar energy, and we are mending our everyday ways to reduce environmental pollution. We should not use our previous crimes as an excuse to do more crimes. On the contrary, we should work on amending everything, and that is what we are doing. And hence that should also be the case with firecrackers. If we are mending our everyday lives, we should also stop using firecrackers. That should be the plan of argument. Yeah, two wrongs don't make a right. I'm again continuing it, and not with and having said that, we should also understand that banning firecrackers, blanket banning firecrackers, is not a solution to the issue of firecrackers. Blanket banning firecrackers means taking away the lives of millions of people in a single stroke. Now, if you do that, then millions of people will become unemployed. It will have bad economic effects, and it would be a rather reactionary and elitist move, because what will those unemployed people do? They will have nothing to eat. Yeah, and we know that rich people are not working in the factories. They are the poor and the deprived and the people who live in the slums. So if you blanket ban firecrackers, what are they going to do? Where are they going to work? So a plan has to be it has to be a gradual change. The change cannot be the change cannot be radical. I am with the conservatives when they say that change should be gradual. Change should not be revolutionary. And there should be a measure. The workers should be relocated. There should be a plan to replace all these huge firecracker industries, and only if we are able to educate the citizens of the harms that the firecrackers bring to us, we would not need to tie their hands by banning firecrackers at all. They will not do it themselves, and this is needed not only in India but worldwide. Yep. If you did like our video, do subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon on whenever you so that you receive a regular update on whenever we upload a new video. Thank you so much.